Do you know that somewhere on a small chain of volcanic islands, there lives a creature that looks like it stepped out of the age of dinosaurs? A reptile so powerful it can take down deer, buffalo, even humans, and yet it exists nowhere else on Earth. Far from crowded cities and highways, beyond the noise of civilization, in the dry heat of Indonesia's Lesser Sunda Islands, something ancient moves through the grass. It does not hurry. It does not need to, because on these islands, it is king. This is the Komodo dragon. Welcome to Echoes of the Wild, where we uncover the hidden stories of animals that shape our world. If you love cinematic animal documentaries, subscribe, like this video, and comment your favorite animal below, because your suggestion might become our next story. Now, imagine standing on a sun-scorched island. The air is thick. The ground is cracked and dry. The trees are sparse, twisted by heat and wind. The ocean surrounds you on all sides. And somewhere nearby, unseen, something is watching. The Komodo dragon is the largest living lizard on Earth. Some grow over 10 feet long. Some weigh more than 150 pounds. Their bodies are heavy, muscular, covered in armored scales the color of ash and dust. Their tongues flick constantly, tasting the air. But the story of this animal did not begin here. It began millions of years ago, long before humans ever stepped onto these islands, long before villages were built or boats crossed these waters. Massive reptiles roamed the earth. Dinosaurs rose and fell. Ice ages came and went. And somewhere in Southeast Asia, ancient monitor lizards were evolving. The Komodo dragon is not a leftover dinosaur, but it is a relative of a lineage that survived alongside them. When most giants disappeared, this one endured. Isolation shaped it. These islands, Komodo, Rinca, Flores and a few others, became natural fortresses. Sea levels rose. Land bridges vanished. Populations were trapped. And in isolation, evolution sharpens its tools. With few predators and limited competition, the Komodo dragon grew larger, stronger, smarter. On these islands, there were deer, wild pigs, water buffalo, and eventually humans, and the dragon adapted to them all. Despite its size, the Komodo dragon does not look fast, but it can sprint up to 12 miles per hour in short bursts. It does not roar. It does not chase for long distances. It waits. Komodo dragons are ambush predators. They lie in dry grass, beneath shade, near watering holes. Still, silent, patient. When prey comes close enough, the explosion happens in a fraction of a second. A lunge, a bite, and then something strange. They often let the prey escape. For years, scientists believed bacteria in their saliva killed victims slowly through infection. But modern research revealed something more chilling. The Komodo dragon has venom. Specialized glands in its lower jaw produce toxins that prevent blood clotting and lower blood pressure. When the dragon bites, it does not need to hold on. The prey runs. The venom works. Within hours, sometimes days, the animal collapses from blood loss and shock, and the dragon follows the scent. Its tongue collects microscopic particles from the air. Its Jacobson's organ reads them like data. It can track dying prey from miles away. This is not chaos. This is design refined over millions of years. And when the dragon feeds, it is brutal. It tears flesh with serrated teeth. It swallows large chunks whole. It can consume up to 80% of its body weight in a single meal. Even bones are crushed. Even hooves disappear. Nothing is wasted. But here is something people rarely talk about. The Komodo dragon is also a cannibal. Juveniles spend much of their early lives in trees, not because they prefer it, but because adults will eat them. From birth, survival is not guaranteed. A female Komodo dragon lays about 15 to 30 eggs. She buries them in the earth and leaves. No nurturing, no protection. When the hatchlings emerge, they are already alone. They climb trees immediately. Up there, they eat insects, small birds. Eggs, they stay above the ground for years, until they are large enough not to be swallowed by their own kind. Life here is not gentle, but it is balanced. On these islands, the dragon has no natural predators once fully grown. It is the apex, yet even kings have vulnerabilities. The Komodo dragon exists only in one part of the world. If these islands disappear, if climate changes, if prey vanishes, the dragon vanishes with them. But before we speak of its future, we must understand something deeper. To the local people of Flores and Komodo Island, the dragon is not just an animal, it is a relative. There is an old legend among the Komodo people. They say long ago, a woman gave birth to twins, one human, one dragon. The human child grew up and became a man. The dragon child returned to the forest, but they were siblings, and the villagers believe they share blood with the dragons. To this day, some locals refer to them with respect, not as monsters, but as ancient neighbors. In other parts of the world, reptiles are feared. Here, they are part of identity. And yet, there have been attacks. Komodo dragons have killed and eaten humans. Rare, but real. A fisherman, a child, a villager walking alone. When an apex predator and humans share space, tension is inevitable. Still, most dragons avoid people. They are not mindless killers. They are opportunists. And in the heat of these islands, energy must be conserved. They bask in the sun to regulate body temperature. They rest for hours. They move when necessary. They hunt when hunger demands. This is a life shaped by scarcity. Water is limited. Food is not guaranteed. Every movement costs energy. Every bite matters. And yet, despite their dominance, Komodo dragons are classified as endangered. Why? Because the world beyond their islands is changing. Climate change threatens to shrink their habitat. Sea levels rise. Human expansion creeps closer. Poaching once reduced deer populations, limiting dragon food supply. Though protected now within Komodo National Park, their survival is not permanent. A creature that survived millions of years now depends on human decisions. Pause here for a moment. Think about that. An apex predator, a living relic of ancient Earth, dependent on us. If you're enjoying this journey into one of the most powerful animals alive, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Echoes of the Wild. And comment your favorite animal below, because your suggestion might shape our next story. Now, we continue, because there is more to this dragon than violence, more than size, more than venom. There is intelligence. Komodo dragons are not social animals, but they recognize individuals. They establish dominance hierarchies at carcasses. The largest eats first, the smaller wait. Sometimes they fight. Claws slash, tails whip, blood is drawn. But often, ritual and posture decide the outcome. Young males wrestle in upright stances, almost like kangaroos. They test strength before risking real injury. This is not chaos. It is structured competition. And then there is reproduction. When females cannot find a mate, something extraordinary can happen. They can reproduce through parthenogenesis, a form of asexual reproduction. No male required. In captivity, female Komodo dragons have laid viable eggs without mating. Imagine that. A lone female on an island, no males nearby, and she still ensures the continuation of her species. That is resilience. That is evolutionary insurance. The Komodo dragon is not just strong, it is adaptable. And adaptation is why it survived. From prehistoric Asia to isolated islands. From giant megafauna to modern deer. From ancient forests to volcanic rock. It endures. But what does it feel like to stand in front of one? Divers describe sharks with awe. Tourists describe lions with fear. But those who stand meters away from a Komodo dragon often describe something else. Silence. A quiet understanding that this animal is not impressed by you. It does not fear you. It calculates. It observes. It decides. You are not the ruler here. You are temporary. It is ancient. And somewhere in the tall grass, beneath a burning Indonesian sun, the dragon waits. Not angry, not cruel, just alive. And now imagine the heat rising from the earth in visible waves. The air is heavy, unmoving. Even the insects seem slower here. In the distance, a water buffalo lowers its head to drink from a muddy pool. It is massive, nearly 1,000 pounds of muscle and horn. And yet, it is not alone. The grass shifts, not violently, not obviously, just enough. A Komodo dragon lies half buried in dust, its body blending perfectly with the earth. Only its tongue betrays it, flicking in and out, tasting the molecules of fear, sweat, and warm blood flowing beneath thick hide. The buffalo lifts its head. The dragon does not move. Minutes pass. The buffalo lowers its head again, and then the explosion. The dragon launches forward with shocking speed. Its jaws clamp onto the buffalo's leg, deep, serrated teeth slicing flesh. The buffalo bellows, thrashes, kicks. Dust erupts into the air. The dragon releases. It does not try to overpower something larger than itself. It doesn't need to. The venom has entered the bloodstream. The buffalo runs. The dragon waits. Hours later, the buffalo weakens. Blood pressure drops. The wound continues to bleed, unable to clot. The animal stumbles. Its strength fades. And somewhere in the brush, the dragon follows, unhurried, patient, certain. When the buffalo collapses, the dragon approaches again. Soon, others arrive, because dragons can detect death from miles away. What follows is not a clean kill. It is primal. Multiple dragons tear into flesh at once. Smaller ones circle, waiting for opportunity. The largest asserts dominance with body posture alone. If challenged, it lashes with claws and tail. There is no wasted motion, no hesitation. Within hours, 1,000-pound animal becomes bones and hide. This is the ecological balance of the island. Brutal, yes, but necessary. Without the dragon, deer populations would explode. Vegetation would vanish. The fragile island ecosystem would collapse. The Komodo dragon is not destruction. It is regulation. And yet, as powerful as it seems, it is not invincible. There are seasons when prey is scarce. Drought tightens its grip. Smaller dragons starve. Fights become more aggressive. And while adults have no natural predators, hatchlings face danger from birds of prey, snakes, and even their own species. Survival here is not guaranteed by strength alone. It requires patience. And something else, endurance. There are stories from villagers who have lived alongside dragons their entire lives. An old man once described seeing a dragon approach his home during a dry season. It did not charge. It did not attack. It stood at the edge of the clearing, watching, as if measuring distance, as if considering possibility. Then it turned and walked back into the brush. This is something people misunderstand about apex predators. They do not hunt constantly. They calculate risk. A dragon injured by a failed attack may starve. Energy is precious. Every movement must matter. Komodo dragons can go weeks without eating after a large meal. Their metabolism is slow, efficient. They conserve. They do not waste. And when rain finally comes, when green returns to the islands, when deer populations stabilize again, the dragons adapt once more. Adaptation is the real power here. For millions of years, sea levels rose and fell. Volcanic eruptions reshaped land. Prey species changed. The dragon endured. Fossil evidence suggests giant monitor lizards once roamed mainland Australia. Some scientists believe the Komodo dragon's ancestors migrated through ancient land bridges before becoming isolated. Time and water carved their kingdoms smaller and smaller. Now, they live only in this narrow range. Fewer than 4,000 remain in the wild. A species that survived the extinction of giants now faces a different kind of threat. Tourism, climate change, habitat fragmentation. Rising sea levels threaten to shrink nesting areas. If temperatures shift too drastically, egg incubation patterns could change. The dragon's future is tied to a delicate environmental balance, and this is where the story turns. Because the Komodo dragon is not just a symbol of power, It is a symbol of vulnerability. Visitors travel from around the world to see them. Rangers guide tourists through dry landscapes, warning them not to walk alone. The dragons move slowly between patches of shade. They are photographed, filmed, studied. But beneath the spectacle is a quiet truth. These animals have no idea they are endangered. They do not know they are protected by international conservation law. They do not know their survival depends on political decisions made far away. They only know instinct, heat, hunger, territory, reproduction, and the slow turning of time. There is something humbling about that. To stand in front of a creature that predates your species by millions of years. To realize that for all our technology, all our cities, all our inventions, we are newcomers, temporary. The dragon is ancient. And yet, ironically, its survival may now depend on us. If conservation efforts succeed, the islands remain protected. Prey populations stay stable. Poaching stays low. Climate impact is slowed. If not, the last dragons may vanish, and future generations will only know them through images and bones. But let us not end in extinction, because there is still strength here. There are young dragons climbing trees right now, avoiding the jaws of larger males. There are females digging nests beneath warm soil. There are massive males patrolling territories, tongues flicking, tasting the world. Life continues, violent, beautiful, unapologetic. The Komodo dragon does not roar like a lion. It does not fly like an eagle. It does not howl at the moon. It moves quietly. It waits. It strikes. It endures. And perhaps that is its greatest lesson. Power does not always need noise. Dominance does not require spectacle. Sometimes survival is enough. If this story pulled you into the heat and silence of these islands, take a moment to like this video. Subscribe to Echoes of the Wild for more cinematic animal stories, and comment your favorite animal below, because the next legend we explore might be yours. Somewhere on a volcanic island in Indonesia, as the sun sets and shadows stretch across cracked earth, a Komodo dragon lies still in the fading light, ancient eyes half closed, breathing slow, waiting, because tomorrow the hunt begins again, and the echoes of the wild continue.